Here we are again, back in the car. Another trip to another music store. Just stopping for gas, because apparently you need to put that in your car if you want to go anywhere. So now they force you to watch commercials while you're paying ridiculous amounts of money for your gas. Actually, gas prices have gone down a lot lately, which is good. I could do without the commercial. I am on Hillsborough Avenue. Sometimes there's planes fly directly overhead here. There's one in the distance that you probably can't see. Oh well, anyway. Last week's video I ate at Panda Express, I think. And that turned out to be, I can't remember how much, $11. This was $8, a little over $8. And as you can see, it's enough food for two people. I'm going to put the phone down and eat because I'm starving. I'm super excited. I'm going to have a hard time not breaking a sweat while I eat this. Okay, so I have a lot of pictures to get through, not a lot of time. So we're going to crank through this super quick. At the Guitar Center in Tampa, there's, so I've got some general photos here. See, there's a used sewer amp that I can't afford, Soldano, all the good stuff I can't afford. Some additional guitars, Gibson stuffs, more Gibson stuffs, Fender stuffs, more Fender stuffs. You can see like there's a bit better of a picture down at the very end. You can see the bass section, but as you can see, they've got a lot of guitars here, a lot of instruments, good selection. That's a much better photo. Oh, look, it's a Marshall Origin 20-watt tube head. Remember, I was just talking about how you can find these used all over the place. Now, again, I don't mean to disrespect anyone who bought the Origin 20. I just hope that when you bought it, you also bought a tube screamer. On the other hand, look at this guy. This is a Valve King, PV Valve King 100-watt tube head for $254. Let me tell you something. This thing sounds amazing. This is a really good sounding amp for that classic rock sound, and at $254, it's a great deal. I don't really need a 100-watt tube amp, but if I did, I would have snapped this up. So here we have the Squier Paranormal Offset Telly. Honestly, if it's just me, I think I'd rather just have a Telly. So it's like it's a Jazzmaster with Telly pickups, basically. But, you know, I mean, it's different. We were just talking about this last week. I think we saw one of these last week. The Carbonita, I think that's how you say it. Squier, $3.99 appears to be the sale price for these new. And then here's another one, different color, and doesn't have the F-hole cut out. But, you know, pretty cool. Okay, the Squier Starcaster. Again, I'm just going to be real here. I'm just going to keep it real. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. That is the dumbest headstock I've ever seen. It looks like a bad drawing. It looks like a 6-year-old drew like an electric guitar. Or it looks like I drew it. Either way. I'm not down with this. It looks dumb. So if you like it, well, you know, good for you. Okay, so actually you see on there, I wrote Affinity Telly used. This is not a used instrument. This is new. So it's $259 for the sale price for the Affinity Telly Butterscotch. I mean, is it a good guitar for $250? Yes, I think it is. It's just that I remember when these sold for like $199, and it seemed like it wasn't that long ago, but maybe it was. I don't know. I'm getting old. I am old. I'm not getting old. Here's a Roland Blues Cube used for $649. This is a transistorized amp. That's how us old people say it, transistorized, not a tube amp. What does it sound like? I think it sounds pretty good. I think it sounds good clean. In terms of like a crunchy kind of sound, no. I think it doesn't sound good at all, but that's because I like a Marshall Crunch. This is not a Marshall Crunch. Not even a Captain Crunch. So here's the Blues Junior on sale for $674, which is not a bad price for a brand new Blues Junior. So here's what I'll say about the Blues Junior. I think it's an amazing 15-watt amp head stuffed into a cabinet that's too small. If you've ever connected one of these guys to a bigger cabinet, you know exactly what I mean. And for a long time, I thought I might buy myself a used Blues Junior and just take the amp head part out of it. But I was thinking that when you could buy a Muse for like 300, and those days are gone. And look what we have here. This is the Squier Jagmaster. And I own one of these. I did a video on it, as a matter of fact. And I bought mine at Guitar Center years ago, used for $129. Nice to see they've gone up in value. Do I think the Squier Jagmaster is worth $329 used? Well, no, I really don't. 250 maybe? I don't know. It is a cool guitar. It's a 24-inch scale. I mean, if you want one though, then you would snap this up because they're hard to find. So, yeah, maybe it is worth that. Looks like you'd have to replace the toggle switch on it though. So here's just a line of guitars that they had going, and look, there is a great deal in here. There's a used Fender made in Mexico Telly for $399. That is actually a great deal. That's a great deal, I must say. I have a MIM Telly. I don't need one, but great deal. Now here's another one, another Fender MIM Telly for $459, and actually under $500 is reasonable for a MIM these days. That's just what the market is. Okay. Yeah, the Prophet Rev 2 is such a cool synth. It's kind of like a Prophet 5. And this is used $15.99, but I mean, just look at it. It's such a cool keyboard. I will never pay that kind of money for a synth, but I can still look at it and drool over it. There was a Matriarch semi-modular here for $18.99. And yeah, look at those beautiful knobs. Oh, and there was a Grandmother. You can buy these brand new for, well, normally, yeah, feels like they're about $1,200, so $949 is a good price, sale price. The Grandmother is a cool synth. That's what it looks like. Anyway, let's go over to the Tampa Sam Ash, and let's see what's going on in there. Last time I was in there, they had not much inventory, but that was like a year ago, so let's check it out now. We're going to take a quick look inside. So as you walk in, they got a bunch of ukuleles and a bunch of junk, and then you can kind of see there's sort of like areas to the store, and this area here is where they have all the electric guitars, electric basses. In the very back, there's an acoustic room. But as you can see, they got a lot of guitars. And then right next to that is the drums area. Look what we have here. We've got a Mustang One for $89. This is just like the one we saw last week at Guitar Center in Clearwater. Huh, interesting. I still love that amp for that money as a practice amp. And what do you know? Here's a Champion. Like I said, you could always find these things like new and used. 250 Champion 100. Yep, good deal, I think. I think that's a good amp. I think you probably also want to use some kind of gain pedal or modeling if you're going to use that. I think it's better clean than anything else. But, it's okay, I guess. So here's a bit of the wall. Here's the collection of Strats and Tellys and whatnot, and some more stuffs, more of the guitar wall. There's down to the end of the guitar wall, and we're just gonna kind of walk down here. I think I took a few pictures of some used stuff down here. Let's have a look. Okay, before we get to that, Michael Kelly is the store brand for Sam Ash, and you go in and they've got this big huge wall of Michael Kelly stuff. What can I say about Michael Kelly? I mean, if you look at what the guitars are, like if you look at the construction and the parts and where they're manufactured and what they cost, they seem to be reasonable, like they're good looking guitars, but I just personally feel like they should be a little cheaper. I mean, it's the store brand. And to me, it seems like they're priced competitively with some of the other import guitars that actually have names that, are not a store brand. But the one thing I will give Michael Kelly guitars is very often they've got some really good looking tops, like the wood tops. I can't get too down on these, but I just, for me to play one of these things, it would have to be like half what they're going for. I don't know. I mean, would I buy one used? Probably not. Like if you look at the Les Paul-ish kind of design they have, to me it looks kind of dorky. I think the Tellys and the Strats look better. I think the Tellys look pretty good, but the Les Paul guitar shape-ish stuff just doesn't do anything for me. Anyway, so this Line 6 guitar for $299. I don't remember the model number, but the whole point of this thing is it worked with some electronics and it could simulate a whole bunch of different sounds. So supposedly it could sound like a Strat or a Telly or an acoustic or a 12 string. And did it actually sound like those things? Kinda, sorta. I mean, I think the 12 string on this guitar sounded about the same as like the 12 string setting on my HX Stomp. It's a $99 Ibanez bass there that I kind of like. That's a good deal. So what we have here is a Sterling Music Man Cutlass for $399, which is a reasonable price. So I don't even know what I'm looking at here, but I think it's cool, this Strat here for $799. I think it's kind of cool. I like the slanted humbucker. See how the poles line up? I think that's cool. I like how the sides and back are black and the front is a beautiful maple cap. I don't know what this is. If you know what this is, put it in the comments section. I'd be interested in finding out. And then we've got some other stuff. There's a Reverend, used Reverend for $749. I definitely like Reverend. I could see myself getting a Reverend at some point in time. I think they're cool. Would I get a used EVH like Locking Floyd deal? No, because I already have a Super Strat with a Locking Floyd, so I don't need to. They're cool though. I do think they're cool. What is this for $129? I wish I would have taken these pictures a little bit closer. I don't know. It's left-handed though. And then that is one ugly, that blue guitar, I don't know what that is, but that's an extremely ugly shape. It looks like a big butt to me, like on the bottom. Come on, man. I'm insulting somebody's guitar right now. Well, you know, horses for courses, as the British people say. So here is a American Special Telly used for $11.99. It's American Special. I know it's an American Telly. And that's a cool shade of green. So that's about what these would go for, I guess, used. I don't know. Okay, so then here's a picture of the wing that's got all the home recording stuff, right? This is a Korg. It says Korg. Korg makes this, I guess. Do they? ARP Odyssey. Is that the right tag for this? Yes, it says used Odyssey. So an ARP Odyssey recreation done by Korg for $500. It's great. It's awesome. The only thing that sucks about it is it's got the micro keys, right? Those are not real size keys. And there are plenty of synth players who are fine with the little itty bitty keys. I am not. I studied piano pretty seriously up until the time I was about 18, and there's no way I could play on those with any kind of speed. I just don't like them. But, you know, you could hook it up with MIDI and use it that way, so there's that. But if I'm going to do that, just give me the box. Don't give me the mini keys. But, you know, if you're not like a keyboard player who's going to try to play a lot of notes fast, this is cool. So now we're in the PA room, and on this wall we've got my finger in the bottom left-hand corner, some mixers. And then over here we've got, you can see some Bose stuff, and behind it there's the wall of speakers. Got some speakers. There you go. This is where you can go and, you know, listen to all the different PA cabs and see what you like. And finally, last but not least, there's a neat selection here of some cool pickups you can buy. And down there on the bottom is the Shawbucker 1, which of course I love. I put that in my PRS S2 Satin 24. I made a video about it if you're interested in what the Shawbucker 1 sounds like. Nothing to write home about except for the cool ARP synth. That was pretty cool. I wouldn't mind having one of those. think next week we'll get back to like working on guitars. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. If for some reason you find this stuff interesting, then please consider subscribing, blah, blah, blah. And I will see you again next Friday at 5.